I'm Raju Bhatt from Butt Murphy Solicitors. The imperative right now is for some sort of immediate scrutiny into the circumstances behind this catastrophe, and the most efficient and effective way to get to the bottom of what's happened must be a public inquiry with all the powers that go with it and the scope that goes with it. The benefit of a public inquiry would attach not just to the families, the bereaved families who've lost loved ones, who need to know what has happened, but also the survivors who need to be reassured about what has happened, and also other families who live in other tower blocks like this one. Here in Kensington and elsewhere in the UK, there are safety features that need to be addressed immediately. There are urgent issues that can only be addressed by some sort of a judicial inquiry with all the powers that go with it. A lot of misinformation has gone out suggesting that an inquest might somehow be better. That is incorrect, misleading and dangerous. Let me explain to you why. The scope of an inquest is necessarily restricted to finding out who has died, where and when the death occurred, and how the death occurred. So it will only address the families who've lost loved ones, but even that will await the criminal prosecution or criminal investigation that has to take place first. So an inquest may not take place for many months or years even, whereas a public inquiry can be instituted immediately, established within days, and report at least on an interim basis so that effective action can be taken without any further delay to address the concerns of the families, survivors and the public at large. We have a very good parallel here from which we can learn lessons. We've all heard about the disaster at Hillsborough over 30 years ago, and one of the things that did work, a lot didn't work in Hillsborough, but one of the things that did work was a judicial inquiry that was set up within days. It was presided over by Lord Justice Taylor, and it managed to get a report out within weeks which addressed what needed to be done in football stadiums throughout the country so that there weren't any other fatalities. Where things went wrong with Hillsborough was that in the inquests that followed, and the lawyers for the families there allowed things to go wrong. The suggestion that it is either or is just mistaken and wrong. The immediate concern is to have the public inquiry, the public scrutiny with all the powers that go with it, and then inquests can take place in due course, addressing the individual deaths in good time.